Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sunday School for ages 3 and up. Today, we are going to make a puzzle and hear more stories about Jesus. Now, Peter and the other disciples wanted everyone to hear the good news about Jesus. They went to the temple every day to share stories about God's love. A lot of people wanted to become disciples of Jesus and learn about following in God's ways. It was a very exciting time. One day, some of the religious leaders wanted to know why Peter and the other disciples kept talking about Jesus. Peter and his friends were brought before the leaders to explain. And as they got ready to speak, Peter thought about all the things that had happened in Jerusalem. Oh, so much to remember, Peter thought. Here is the first piece of our puzzle. Peter remembered the day they had come to Jerusalem for the festival of Passover. That's what is happening in this picture. The city was very crowded. Somehow, people had heard that Jesus was coming, and a huge crowd gathered to welcome him. When the people saw Jesus coming, they shouted with joy and spread robes and cloaks on the ground. Here is our next piece of the puzzle. Peter thought about how quickly things had changed after that. Some angry people who did not like the things that Jesus had been teaching sent for soldiers to arrest Jesus. Later, Jesus was crucified on a cross, and his body was taken to a garden where he was buried in a small tomb. A large rock sealed the opening. It was a terrible, terrible day for Jesus's followers. And so, let's see, I think these fit together like this. And here's our third piece. Very early on Sunday morning after Jesus' death, several women went to the tomb. When they got there, they found the stone rolled away and the tomb was empty. Jesus' body was gone. What could it mean? Peter smiled as he remembered the next part of the story. Jesus' body hadn't just disappeared. Something amazing had happened. God had raised Jesus to new life. Jesus had been dead, but now he was alive in a new way. We had seen him with our own eyes. It was true, Peter thought. Jesus was alive in a new way. Where do you think this goes? Doesn't quite fit. How about this? It's not quite right, is it? How about this one? Oh, that looks like it fits perfectly. Okay, and here's our last piece of the puzzle. Peter and his friends stood in front of the leaders. They were not afraid. They would show the world how much they loved Jesus and wanted to carry on his work. They would tell the amazing story of how Jesus came and taught about God's love for everyone. And they would tell how Jesus was crucified and how God brought the spirit of Jesus back to life again. Nothing would stop them. They would carry on Jesus's work. And look at that. Looks like we have a heart. And if you want to continue remembering these stories with your children, you can make a puzzle of your own. You can draw a heart. And then you could separate it into 4 pieces, or however many, maybe 10. And then they can draw pictures of each part of the story that they remember, and then you can cut them and put them back together over and over as your children retell this story to you. All right. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.